Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Billy Z. Some time ago, I started making videos to hold myself accountable to get things done. At which time, I was working on 3 projects, though I have more projects than I can count on my fingers and toes. But I was working on 3 projects. One of them was putting up a water tank on the roof because of the horrible water system here in my neck of the woods of Guatemala. The other one, I can't remember the other one that I said I was doing, but the third and most important, this. Here it is. The just now delivered to my home, printed first book of William Dean Ziemer. It's not the first book I've written, but it's the first book that's in print. And it took me since 2000 I think I started on it 2003, when I really didn't know what I was doing. And through a lot of pain and suffering, not really, just a lot of thinking and scratching some things and changing some things and, that sort of thing. Here it is. I don't know if you can see that. You see it? Hollywood English. And I will not explain the philosophical reason for that name at this moment. Is it philosophical? It's more like academic, I think. In any case, there's the name. Hollywood English. Got it? See? Let me open some pages for you. If I can do this backwards. Oh, the first part of the book is for teachers who want to use the book to teach. The second part is for students who want to use the book to learn English. It's the instructions on how to use the book. And then, finally, you get to the lesson plans. And I'm not choosing any certain page here. I'm just giving a general view. Anyway, I am thankful to God in the name of Jesus that it is done. Right now it's only going to be for sale here in Guatemala. It's written with, the way I wrote it is to have an English sentence, how it is spelt, right across from it, to the right, the word-for-word translation, which I think most languages, you don't translate word for word. It just doesn't work. You have to translate more or less the thought, the theme, the idea, whatever. So there's a sentence on this side, and then the word-for-word translation on this side, and underneath the sentence is a pronunciation using the, what do they call that? The word just flew out of my mind. This basically the sound of the pronunciations of the Spanish language as it is spoken in Guatemala. That's where I live. Then across from that is the way you actually say it in the Spanish language. So it's like 4 different sentences with questions and answers and questions and answers and question and answers over and over again. Anyway, I won't explain the whole thing right now. That will take too long. But the book is going to be for sale here in Guatemala first, and then eventually, if possible, I will be selling it in the world. The world. Okay, that's enough of that nonsense. So, I've held myself accountable, and finally, after much trial and tribulation, I have this book. It's not my first book, actually. It's not my second or my third. It's the first one that's printed and not published yet. There's another book that's in waiting that was actually finished before this one. It was finished in 2007, I finished it. But it cost a lot of money to print a book for a publishing company to print it. So it's not published yet. Who knows, maybe I'll have the same guy right here in San Antonio, Aguascalientes, that had his print shop and did this, and is being very gracious to me and helping me do it without spending the amount of cash that I would normally have to spend. Maybe I'll have him do that book as well. And if it gains any traction at all, then maybe I'll have a bigger publisher do it, but because I will have to publish this myself anyway. But so that's where it stands at the moment. And beside that book, I do have other books besides those, and I have books in the progress, books for children, teaching books, storybooks, all kinds of stuff that are just sitting there. First, they were sitting forever in my brain, and gradually they leaked out onto digital form. This one started out on paper, writing things out, writing ideas out. Same with the other book that I have. It's called A Donkey's Tale, and I won't explain that. Anyway, there you go. I'm trying to remain accountable, and thank God I got some accountability accomplished. Is that a good sentence? I don't know. I'm just an English teacher. Why would I know those things?